we're gonna be okay. I know it doesn't seem like that when we fight. We've been around each other long enough to know the time is what we need. I want you to be happy, and I need that same happiness for myself. So I thunder, sometimes we do it too. We do it to each other. We do it to each other. We do it to each other, yeah. Overcome the fear to move on in the world of the unknown. Gotta play it different this time, this time, this time, this time, babe. You and I, in the world of the unknown. Gotta play it different this time, this time, this time, this time.
Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to the Juliet We Talk Show. I'm Juliet, and I would like to thank you, each and everyone who are watching our show. Please, if you have not subscribed, subscribe and share with others. Today, I have a special guest, and she is from Berlin, Ugandan originally. Her name is Jaqee. Please, Jaqee, you are most welcome, and introduce yourself to our viewers and tell us more about yourself.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm Jaqee, and Jaqee Nakiri, Alubale. I'm a singer, first and foremost. I'm actually an artist, I would say. I would put myself in more the category of being an artist, because usually I'm very interested in creating, in the process of creativity, and it's songwriting, it's song productions, it's visual video productions. I'm always very involved in the processes of creating that content of music, you know, that we put out there, that I put out there. So yeah, and I'm a mother of two beautiful daughters, Zola and Serafina, my babies. Yeah, so this keeps me busy, I would say.
That's beautiful. How old are they?
Zola is 11 and Serafina is 7.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's really beautiful. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And if I ask, when did you start singing, or when did you start your music?
The music, I would say it came very gradually, because I'm a very avid reader. I've always been reading a lot since I was a child. So this was always like a safety net for me, like reading. So the power of the word is something that is very strong in my body. And since I tend to be a very silent kind of person, you know, in my everyday life, and I'm not like really out there socializing and stuff. So I read, you know, and I get into the space of storytelling, and I enjoy it very much. Yeah. So this is how singing started.
Okay.
Very accidental in a way. People who were keen on my voice were kind of giving me hints, you know, when I was a teenager. Teachers in school were encouraging me to like sing. They were like seeing something in me. So I was really pushed into the singing through the help of a lot of like the grown-ups who were like seeing this gift, you know, this gift that I have. So today I see it more as a way of expressing myself. You know, some people write, some people dance. Yeah. I use the voice, you know, to express what I want to express.
Yeah, that's beautiful, because I was watching some of your videos. Like the miracle. I love the miracle. What's the story behind the miracle?
Miracle. Yeah, miracle is a way. It's a prayer song for me. It's you know, it's it's always very interesting how I write, how I tend to write music. And Miracle actually come out of a place where it's a cry for help in a way. You know, I was not necessarily in a good place, you know. So it's like a lullaby. I wrote it to uplift myself, you know. Because you can either get into a space of like everything is really bad, life is hard, and then but you can switch the psychology, like to find your smile again. You know, I'm always looking for the smile on my face, like. And the moments I realized that this my facial muscles are changing because I stopped smiling, that means that I'm not living life the way I should be living life, you know. So Miracle was really a song that it was a lot of energy going on around the world. It was it was a lot of Syrian trauma going on, and and back home we were taking care of a lot of refugees, you know, like children refugees. So we had our kindergartens, and we were interacting them with our own children who have grown up here in Europe, incorporating the war trauma, the kids who had a lot of trauma, you know, who are living in camps and places like this, you know. So they are really in a post traumatic space, you know. They are wild and they are and so a lot of these things were going on, you know. And I was also going through my space of trying to get myself back on my feet, you know. So I wrote this song, Miracle, you know.
It's a beautiful song, really. I loved it very much. Always I encourage people to think positively, because whenever we are down, we have to realize that you have to get something which can pull you up, really. And thinking the time when you are down is the time when you learn a lot of things. You learn about yourself, what you are, and what's important to you. And thinking positive is the most important thing in our lives, so that you don't break. And if you can bring out a song like that one, that was really wonderful, because it's a very beautiful song. And then there's another one which I love, the different rhythm. That was so artistic.
It's alright. A long time I had this one.
You did? It was so artistic, the way of dancing and the songs. I loved it too.
I was so nervous of this dance because I'm not really dancing a lot. I love to dance, but privately. And but it's there. Of course, I'm surrounded by a lot of artistic people, you know, because dancers are they're such a beautiful people to hang around, you know. They work hard. They work really, really hard. And anybody who knows about struggle, talk to a dancer, you know, because their life is a different next level. But
for us, we don't understand really. We are not dancing. We say like something simple, but when you talk about it, that it's really hard working. We cannot imagine that dancing is hard working. We think that maybe you should just shake here and there and there, but when you try something and I would like to, any famous musician you admire? Do you have any famous musician? Because your music is different from the African, what is it called? Is it the African, is it soca?
The Afrobeat.
Afrobeat, yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
The African rhythm. Actually, I would not completely agree. Because there is always the stereotype, you know, that media projects to the mass people, and then there is always a smaller kind of there's subcultures, you know. I think we forget a lot that there is subcultures on our continent, on our beautiful continent. And so what I've done, I'm Uganda, I'm half Muganda, half Munyankole. And in my head, actually, this is where everything is beginning. Like the magic that many people find in my music comes from this. Comes from this rooting, you know. It comes from the tanani, komi, tanani. You know, there is a certain way of rhythm that I work with musically. So yes, I'm not mainstream, and I've never been really mainstream. You know, I'm a bit too anarchistic in this way, because I think creativity is really a soul, it's a spirit, it's a gift, and I these are things I don't control, but I have a lot of respect for my African rooting. And how I prepare the music. So every single song that I prepare, I'm always rooting it from the African music that I had as a child, or that I'm listening to currently, or I'm always taking influences and mixing them with the space that I'm in, technically and musically, because I'm always surrounded by different kind of musicians, and some inspired by very different people. So I personally have started understanding that because sometimes people will be like, yeah, there's something about your music, you know? But this is really where I can only find the answers there.
You can express yourself through your
I can express myself, and the thing is that if you take this music and you twitch it a little bit, it will easily go back to the African rhythm, like really quickly, you know. So I'm doing that now because I'm activating. I will start playing music again next year, going on stage, on live stages, and it feels like I need to convince. I need to convince, like, guys, you know. But I'm having like beautiful musicians around me, you know, from the Afro diaspora, you know, from West Africa, and so it's going to be so nice to have us on stage, you know. So you have musicians from Cameroon, you have musicians from Benin, you have me coming from the East African side, and we're mashing up my music.
That would be wonderful.
Channeling it with all this different energy from the different African countries. So it's that's going to be very exciting.
That sounds really beautiful. And for me, I find it very beautiful when you create something different, because everything must not look the same. Things have to be different. You have to have your own thing, not following the crowd, but do something separate, something different, and it's beautiful. It's always beautiful to do something different, a new creation, because I find, as I said before, that I find your music very creative. Very creative. It says a lot, and the dancing, everything. It's beautiful and very creative. And have you ever performed in Africa?
Actually, I have. Not completely on my own name, but I was. We've done like Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda also. In very but it's a few years ago now. It's quite a while ago. It's the biggest dream I have. This is like my big dream, that my bucket list. This is like a big dream I have, to a big wish, because it feels like first, until I feel like I'm performing for my people back home, this is the moment I'll feel like maybe I'll feel a big sense of peace, you know. But I also don't want to do it out of desperation. This is a very clear navigation point for me, that it needs to come. All these things need to happen naturally on their own, you know. People need to be ready to listen to the kind of music. I need to be ready, you know. So it's a moment that will have to happen on its own. And
what difficulties did you find as a musician, as an artist?
Oh, how much time do we have? You know, artistry is very interesting, because it's there is so much happening, you know, mentally. Because let's say I'm thinking of a song, like at the moment I am here doing this theater piece, but at the same time I'm doing album productions. At the same time I'm doing songwriting. So there is a lot of things that of energy. It's very energy draining. This I would say, you know. This is one of the toughest, but I wouldn't say. I look at this thing as a gift. You know, I've been really blessed. I get really emotional when the moment it hit me that this is my biggest gift, because there is no way I could ever see myself making it this far, this long. I have been paying my rent on music for more than a decade now.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
So the moment I started respecting it as a gift, God is there is a guidance that's moving with me. You know, I'm not alone in this, and I think when you start looking at putting in this perspective, you know, it is nothing comes easy.
No.
Nothing comes easy, you know, like whether, regardless of which job you're doing or which profession you're in, nothing will come easy. You need to put in a bit of effort, and some professions need more, you know, than others, but we are really blessed. I look at it like when I come to work, people are happy.
Yeah.
You know, like people are really happy, and like this is a big moment, you know, like, you know, so this,
that's great.
You know, so when you put things in this kind of perspectives, it's you know, what do I have to complain about? You know, of course, it's not the easiest. It's it can be very lonely. You need to spend a lot of time understanding yourself and understanding the people that you're serving. You know, you need to spend a lot of time understanding this, and this needs you to be very introspective also. You know,
that's wonderful. And do you write your music yourself or produce it yourself?
Yeah. I co-produce because I'm not very technical. I'm not really interested in the technical aspects of so I'm always working with co-producing with someone or some other people. But I write the music, and I write my lyrics, and I write
any Luganda music which you have done before?
By the way, come to the concerts. Come to the concerts next year. Yes, I was telling you my big wishes. I've started incorporating. This is also I've decided to get more and more out of my fear zone. You know, because because I'm not really speaking Luganda or Nyankole that frequently, since I'm not back home. But I've started incorporating. So the music that's coming up has Luganda information.
And then Swedish. And then German.
No, Swedish now. No, let's keep it English Luganda for now. Let's keep it English Luganda for now.
Not Swedish.
No, not
How
Swedish.
about German?
No, not German. No, I'm not ready for German yet. I'll just speak the language, but singing. Yeah, I think also it's about like English comes easy for me, you know, and Luganda or Nyankole will come more easy in a way of my body memory, you know, because I grew up there, and so I will remember this. My body will remember this information, this rhythm. So like this, it's easier for me to
express yourself in English. Maybe and it's always. And then the thing is when we are here, and in most cases we speak English. If it's not okay, as for us, we are living in Sweden, we'll speak Swedish, but the other language is English. Somehow we speak Luganda too, but expressing yourself a little bit more, it can be a little bit complicated.
It can be complicated when you're living here. Well, again, the Uganda is like it's different. You need the body language. You know, you're using hands and using. I think in Sweden, it's like it's a bit different. You need to be more.
It is really different, but we try.
We try,
and we will be trying. And how about the children? Do they speak any Luganda or something?
No, they don't. Unfortunately, they don't. It's a bit tricky there because it's always about, you know, when it comes to lingua or habits, it needs to be practiced. You know, and you need to have an environment that's stimulating this information. So. That was a tough decision because it was already made when I gave birth to them. Like how do we approach this? You know.
But today it's very easy. Really, the children can teach themselves. Honestly.
They can.
They can on the net. They do translate. Because my children some of them have been teaching themselves the language, and they can ask you about what does this mean? And so, okay, you explain and you talk to them in the language, but still, one of them used to teach himself a lot about many words he learned by himself, a lot. There's a lot of help if the interest is there, but that depends, so we cannot force them, but if they are interested, then they can learn by themselves somehow, absolutely. Because it's more easy today. Anyway, and I think right now we have to take a break and see, we'll be getting back soon. Thank you.
We're gonna be okay because we owe it to the future. All of this madness, the clouds of youth. Well, I don't want it anymore. If what I say doesn't make sense to you, so please go and choose your way. Me, I don't want no sadness no more. We do it to each other, we do it to each other, but we gonna help each other, yeah. Overcome the fear.